Welcome to the APTA's third Grand Prix event of the season, the Duane Hayden Long Island Invitational, brought to you in part by local support from Long Island Platform Tennis League, Axiom Markets, the Adario family of musical brands, and the APTA national sponsors Viking, Savory, and Uline. We are live at the Huntington Country Club on the Long Island in New York on the APTA network, presented by our live stream production partners, eNet Live. I'm Jerry Vian, along with Brad Easterbrook and George Wilkinson, and we're about to start the men's final. So Brad, why don't you lead us in with who we're going to see play today?
Thank you, Jerry. On the far side of the court are our number 2 seeds. In the ad court, wearing the ski cap, is Broderick, left-handed player, teaching professional, the head director of racket sports at the Newbrook Country Club in Summit, New Jersey, and his partner, Jared Palmer, teaching professional out in California. So they're our number 2 seeds. On the near side of the net, coming off a tremendous victory in the semifinals, are our number 3 seeds. That's John Hughes in the red, the left-handed player in the deuce court, and his partner, Mark Powers, who is from New York City, and neither player is a teaching professional. But we look for a great match here, Jerry.
Yes, so this is the last time this team played was in the Nationals in the semifinals, and it was Broderick Palmer 4-1. George, what do you think will be the difference today? I don't expect it to be the blowout that we saw there.
No. I definitely don't think it's going to be a blowout after the performance we saw in the semis from Hughes and Powers. They got their adrenaline flowing in that match, and there's that's the first time that they've beat Araya and Morneau, and I think that's going to change their belief in general as a team, and it's going to bring them closer together as a team, and I think they're going to be absolutely rock solid in this match, and I fancy their chances. I think it's like any huge match here, it's key at the start, but even if they don't get off to a great start, they've already proven that they can come back and show the will to battle given the score at any situation. So I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome match.
And Brad, you watched Broderick Palmer playing before. I noticed that Broderick has added a lot more spin to his cutters. I mean, he's hitting the one Araya shot at will in that match before. What do you think they'll have to do?
Well, Broderick and Palmer have been the team that just refuses to lose, and they are able to do things at different times or morph their game, play a little more offensive when needed, blitz and attack, or just stay out there all day and hit basically 1,000 balls. It's very hard to get them to miss. And you're right, Drew has an amazing cut overhead. He can hit around the ball, cut underneath the ball. He sets up the same way every single time, so it's very hard to tell what he's going to do with it. And then he moves it through the court or cuts it short. Keeps all the teams off balance, so it's very hard to get comfortable in the backcourt. And then they volley so well that it's very, very hard to hurt them. So that's definitely going to be one of the keys to the match out here today. I'm wondering if there's starting to be any kind of formula, like we saw years ago, Durant and Parsons were winning all those matches. Finally, somebody broke through and beat Durant and Parsons. We're starting to figure out any kind of formula for how to beat Broderick and Palmer. We'll have to see if Hughes and Powers have done that today.
And before we get started with the match, and I want to get into lefty on both teams here, but I'd like to give a big thank you to Duane Hayden and Tim Mangan and Ray Lombardi, who are the tournament directors here, the Long Island Invitational. We have Lisa Rudloff, who's going to be our umpire up in the chair, and she's the director of racket sports here. And all the volunteers, as well as our eNet team, Kelly, Blake, and Josh. They've done a monster job this weekend, and we're delighted that it is perfect paddle weather. We're not dealing with rain. It's cloudy. Temperatures probably in the 40s. We see a lot of the crowd coming up, and everybody in the paddle world is buzzing about this match. There's John Hughes in the red, and he is the lefty. Do you think the lefty-lefty matchup is going to play into this much, George?
I think it's good for Hughes and Powers. Look at Nathan Lefebvre and Scott Estes. Scott Estes, how many times have they taken to 3 sets? 3 times at least. it's very effective being able to have against Drew and Jared a lefty hitting the cut overhead into the juice court. It really it adds another aspect of offense to the team attacking over there. Not taking anything away from Jared Palmer, he's fantastic, but it just means he's going to see a lot more awkward balls, which will tire him a little bit. And not even necessarily that, it's going to generate some opportunities for offense for Hughes and Power. So it's going to be interesting to see which player they try to attack.
Well, absolutely. I think you're right, George. And I think Broderick's ability to hit cut overheads into Hughes' screen is going to be a factor in this match for sure. It's hard to defend against Broderick overhead, so his ability to do that will be interesting to see as we go on in this match.
Let's take a look at the draw just while we have a moment. Looks like two of the players have left. And Brad, let's talk us through their path.
Yeah, absolutely. The number 2 seed, Broderick and Palmer, we talked about it just before season. They had a tough 3-setter with them, but they're real champions. If they lose a set, they don't get down. They know they're going to stay with their plan, stick through it, and they pulled that one out 6-4, 6-3 in a good 3-set match in the last 2 sets. In their next round in the semifinal, it was a great performance, a great week, for Bobitsky and Grangero, who made it to the semifinals. Our 6 seeds, showing a lot of grit to get there. But against Broderick and Palmer, they didn't really have any answers, no offense to bring to really hurt them. So Broderick and Palmer with a 6-1, 6-2 victory here to get to the finals. And of course, Hughes and Powers, they had an easy victory up to the semifinals. They did a great job, mowing through their opponents, ton of firepower. But of course, up against Orion Morneau, who has basically been their nemesis. They've lost to Orion every single time. They've won the first set, then Orion's been able to win the next 2 sets against them. But today, showing amazing grit, and they really upped their game and their firepower, able to come away with a 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 victory. So kudos to them.
And I'm not questioning their physical fitness, Hughes and Powers, but after such a big win, it'll be interesting to see how they start mentally against Broderick and Palmer.
I think that's a great point, Sherry. I know when they played against them last year, I think that match actually stuck with Mark Powers a little. He was not happy with how he played. And I think there might be a little revenge factor here, or he certainly wants to acquit himself better against this team. There's Powers and Hughes think they can beat anybody. But last year they didn't play well against their matchup with Broderick and Palmer. So I know that's in there. So I don't think there's going to be any letdown. I think they're going to be fired up for this.
George, you commented on the elevation of Mark Powers in that 3rd set. Mm-hmm. And you'd never seen him play at that intensity. So
it was making me feel as intense as he was on the court. It was mind blowing. He really took it to them and took it to himself, and I think it elevated John Hughes' partner as well. He saw that it was happening, and he just rose up to the occasion. I would love to see him start that way in the beginning of this match and just roll through it, because the shot making that he was doing, the plays that he was creating, he was hitting shots that I haven't seen before out of nowhere. He just decided to do it, and it was awesome to see. So if he can find it, the question is, it's so difficult at the beginning of a match to just put yourself in that environment. That's something that Broderick and Palmer do all the time. They, right from the very first point to the last point, even if they're match point down, they're in that zone all times. They can put themselves in that high level of performance state every single time, and that's why they're the team to beat at the moment.
And there's always a different vibe on the day of the final. And there's now another different vibe because it's a different final. It's an opportunity for Hughes and Powers to break through. So you can, it's electric around here right now.
Yeah, so far this year, Hughes and Powers with finals every single tournament they've played, right? Patterson Open, Steel City in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And now here. So
yeah,
they've had the breakthrough,
final.
actually, Jerry, because you were saying it before. The draw land streak by Savitri that
yes,
they've been semifinals all last year and losing the top 4, but now we got 3 finals in.
Yep, their 4 last tournaments from last season, they made it through to the semifinals, and now this year, like you just said, it was both to the finals. After this, this is our 3rd leg on the Grand Prix Tour. We'll be heading up to Boston, January 26th through 28th, and then the Philly Open February. So the teams are vying for major points. It's not just the ranking points, but there's also points on the line for the Childress Club and the Blanchard Cup that the players are playing for.
Now these teams are all locks for, making it into the top 3. I think for national, I think anyone can. They can't fall out of those spots, and they can't fall back. But right now, Broderick and Palmer are number 2 in the country behind Ryan Morneau, and I believe this result will actually catapult them into first place. I'm not sure on that. I have to check with Ray Crosta, but I think that's the way it's going to work
Ray,
out.
if you're listening, can you give us a text? Ray takes care of all our points. He does a monster job for the APTA and keeps track of all the points for the tournaments. Gives us our rankings.
It's good to see that all the fans are comfortable out there as well.
That's a great viewing area here at Huntington Country Club. The courts are set down below. There's a hill up behind, so you get this vantage point from up top, which allows you to look over at the courts and really see the angles of the ball coming in.
Jared, you're starting.
And let's give a shout out to Jim Kaufman. He is coaching Team Hughes and Powers for the last couple of years, and credit to him. He's done a phenomenal job with their games and teaching us some of the wisdom that he had when he played. Longtime partner of Mike Gillespie. Should be very proud of his players.
Yep, they've got a battle on their hands because Broderick Palmer are playing at a level that no opponent wants to see.
All right, we're about to start here.
Jared Palmer serving. So right off the bat, we see the balls going down the middle. And mentally, guys, there's no tougher team on the men's tour than Broderick Palmer. I
There
mean,
we go, right away, the spin overhead into the ag-core.
Love 15.
Yeah, you can see Powers actually practicing his cut overhead. I think they mean to try and put some pressure on them in the backcourt.
all.
That's going to be a shot, like you said before, Brad, that John Hughes has not seen a million times. Oh, rare backhand overhead from Drew Broderick. Not phased. A lot of lobs down the line from Hughes and Powers right now.
I was just going to say that John Hughes has really improved his ability to lob down the line since Pittsburgh. You get that ball to go over the player's left shoulder down the line deep, it forces them to go cross court.
That's great.
Yep.
Oh, it's unlucky. He wasn't
Game,
missing that before.
Broderick Palmer, 1-0.
They've got to get themselves excited straight away.
I think that overhead was a little short, a little high on the screen. It needs to be deeper in the court. Right spot, going straight at Jared's left hip. And Viking Athletics is a premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking extra duty platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour, and the players will be switching every 7 games. That's 2 backhand flick down up overheads we've seen.
Flat on these volleys. Nice off-base drive.
We weren't seeing any volley errors from John Hughes in the previous match. We've seen 2 already.
Great serve there.
15-all.
Little feeling out period in the match. A few loose errors.
Of course, Broderick and Palmer had a much longer break. Hughes and Powers had an hour.
Great play there by Powers. You see them blitzing more, getting more dynamic
15.
in their transition game out there.
Game, Powers, Hughes, 1-all.
Feels like the intensity is going to get ratcheted up once there's a first break or a couple of important points. We haven't
Right.
seen one yet.
Oh, get through the first 4 games, everybody serves.
Left
Great
15.
spot of return there from Hughes. That's a signature shot, that high forehand thunder drive.
There's a barrage of errors so
15-all.
far in this final.
15-30.
It's not really surprising though after that battle, and just it's going to take a bit for them to settle down.
I love how Mark Powers didn't used to do this as much, if at all, but he is firing returns at the net player.
30-all.
He's doing it against Juan Reyes, doing it at Jared Palmer. Now he's testing their awareness if they're ready for it to come.
Oh, just long.
I think Mark
Exactly
House
what
is
they
going to
want.
have quite a few looks if Jared hits that flat overhead in the middle of the service box there.
Great pressure there by Hughes. Another blitz move, and that forces the volley error there. You see that guy coming in, makes it a little jittery. Nice dig.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Hughes and Powers doing an amazing job closing off that net.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Oh!
So easy he runs back and gets
Gets it every
those.
time.
You sound annoyed, George. Like you've tried to hit that by him and he got it on you.
It's definitely more annoying to deal with than it is to watch. I can tell you that. So they've obviously, Hughes and Powers have had a conversation about not hitting the ball into Drew Broderick's side wire, which is tempting as it is because he leaves it wide open. It's a very dangerous, silly decision. But so far there's one, but it was a low ball, so it was good enough. Drew's probably best offensive
Powers.
play in the backcourt is baiting, moving to the middle and baiting his opponents into trying to hit an overhead into his sidewire, and he chomps on it. as
Game
Jerry would
Powers
say.
Hughes. They lead 2-1.
There's the break.
First break. Nice job. Good job. It seems like Hughes and Powers have a strategy here. They're going to dump the ball down the middle, try to force them into an errant three-quarter pace drive or something like that. Because, as great as Broderick and Palmer are, they don't necessarily just blow it through you. They tend to play tactical points, and the thought might be that they also have a shot clock, or they'll go for something like that ball there. The drive came from Palmer, but you had Powers right on the net waiting for it. Hit a drop volley for a winner. Point before.
We were talking about it at lunch, but the interesting thing will be if Hughes and Powers can stay solid, but then Powers has got to step up and take those chances that he did. And that volley exchange, that level that he was volleying in the last match, if he plays like that, they really are in this. They really have a good shot at it.
Great spin.
I would like to see him drive that harder.
Great variety of overheads from Broderick.
And
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Powers
15
took on
left.
Wanaraya, and now if he makes that play at net, I know you guys were jumping up and down, screaming when that was happening in the semi-final.
Switching back Hughes and Powers, so they're giving Broderick and Palmer a different look.
There's the switch.
Moving around really well in the backcourt right now, guys.
Oh, tricky.
Nice touch.
That's the lob that John Hughes has improved. Yep.
That's
What a
fantastic
beautiful
placement.
pace on that ball, too. Didn't overhit it,
Very
so it
low.
was not easy to track down. And if Broderick can't get it, very hard to get. They are also definitely, you see Powers staying closer to
40
that
left.
net, making sure somebody's on top of the net. They're taking the blitz plays out of play from the backcourt team.
And they're right where they
Powers
want to be
Hughes, they
now.
lead 3-1.
They're up a
First
break
set.
and they consolidated that break. I think that's going to give them a second win that they need to really get where they were at the end of that semi-final. I think Hughes and Powers are going to get better and better and better right now. What a
Wow.
shot, John Hughes.
Left 15.
Ball just slithered over the net, down onto Jared's shins. Hughes and Powers showing no signs of fatigue after their long three-set match in the semis.
Look
Oh
at
my
pace.
goodness. Explosion.
Yep. They're managing themselves out there physically and mentally. They're staying in control, and this is a big moment.
Great play. I think Hughes didn't realize Powers would have had that one.
15-30.
Great volleying there, though, from Broderick and Palmer.
30 all.
Oh, what a smart lob from Mark Powers.
Very deceptive.
So much creativity in his game today. I feel like Hughes and Powers are not intimidated by Palmer Boy 1%.
Not
right
at
now,
all.
the way
They
that they're
look
playing.
really comfortable and in control.
I believe it's clearly there. That's unlucky.
It's the look he wanted. High ball off the screen.
40-30.
That's great hands from Drew.
Good pressure.
Great recognition that his
Broderick
partner was
Palmer,
going to
Powers
drive that
Hughes leads 3-2.
down high off the
First
back
set.
screen onto his opponent's feet and get a nice sitting poach volley to put away and put them in trouble.
And Ray Croster has confirmed that if Broderick Palmer win this match, they will take over the #1 ranking. So guys, pretty impressive start. Hughes and Powers, right? No sign of nerves, no sign of fatigue. It looks like they expect to win it. Body language is great.
I think they have a sound strategy too. I mean, that game was sound too. They just missed some shots they had good looks at. 2 netted balls there. They have a sound strategy. They're taking the right balls to drive. They're giving Broderick and Palmer very little to hit. Staying within themselves, yet still pulling the trigger on offensive shots, which you have to do.
You can see the difference between the strategy of Hughes and Powers compared to Bobotsky and Grangiero. You know, that Hughes and Powers have been very, very patient, but they're making things happen a little bit more in this match, and that's making the difference. They're not playing fast and, you know, impatient, but they're pulling the trigger, and when they do, they're really trying to speed things up and create movement.
Love.
Yeah, I think
a
that's
sign of frustration from Jared Palmer. There's a side screen overhead from Mark Powers, almost got in trouble there. Oh, blimey.
Nice.
Here we go. What a kill shot.
great ball.
15 all.
Looks like both teams playing little musical chairs in that point. They were going behind each other, and they were running around a chair trying to get to the open one. Got to be careful with that overhead.
Yep.
I like that short over from Mark Powers. He's clearly trying to bait Palmer and Broderick. Whoops, I mean, no, not whoops. He's trying to bait them into driving the ball so he can have an offensive volley opportunity.
So Mark Powers is on the far side in the red hat. John Hughes is the lefty. Jared Palmer is in the deuce with the black hat. And Drew Broderick and the ad, the lefty with the white hat.
Good high lobs there from Palmer. He's concentrating on getting them up.
very solid game plan that Hughes and Powers are showing right now. Just the patience to place that ball down the middle.
And that one there just hit the seam and it caught him unawares. Great shot.
I don't think I've ever seen so many flick backhand overheads, guys. Have you? First set?
No, there's a lot of them actually. You've seen Broderick do a few, another one there. That's because all these guys are so good at holding their lobs. They're holding them at the net and then they quickly pop it up there. So the player's just a little off balance, can't get around it to hit the forehand overhead.
Those are the drives that Hughes and Powers won. Jared was in the blue there, and even if he makes that drive, the volleys of Hughes and Powers are so good, they're going to stuff that behind him. It's extremely smart play from Hughes and Powers right now.
Oh boy.
He's got to be careful.
That's the overhead you do not want to give them, right, George?
Yeah. Drew is waiting. If he doesn't see that for
40,
3
30.
years, the second you hit it there, he'll punish you with it. There's
Smart.
the spot.
Yep.
Make him drive it, that's good. I feel like Drew has really amped up his game right now. He's got his energy flowing and he's going to start dancing around and hitting his spin overheads. Here we go.
Great ball into the crease to get it to deuce. But a couple of tactical errors there from Hughes and Powers, giving Drew those forehands moving to the side screen. That is the one shot you do not want to give him. High lobs here, trying to change the tempo of these points. The ball go up higher.
Then they start again. The flurry of activity, and then they go back to building the point.
Do you think, Jerry, sometimes this strategy, like Broderick and Palmer, it almost works like Novocaine? It may not work in the beginning, but over time it just sort of wears you down and lulls you in.
Yep.
And you forget how to hit the shots you're hitting.
Yeah, Hughes and Powers have to really keep their pace going. I mean, they're doing a great job right now, and they can't get lulled in and lose the spark. George, as you just pointed out, you can see Drew Broderick. He's just itching to get a ball.
Oh!
Great wheels from Jared Palmer. Yeah, he's itching. Drew Broderick, in my opinion, is the most dangerous when you're trying to keep the ball away from him. He'll dance around, stuff his paddle in there, do a short lob, make you think you have an offensive opportunity, and then slam the ball down your partner's throat. He is lethal. The less balls you see, the more dangerous he is.
I was just watching there, he's constantly moving his feet while Jared was hitting all those balls, and I was like, he's going to pounce.
Looks like they're having a sprint race, Jared, and Palmer and Broderick are having a race across the court.
I think points like that, Hughes and Powers are going to come on top.
I agree 100%. That was great. They got him scrambling, and then they have the cutting, finishing overheads.
A little quicker pace.
Absolutely. And And George, what you said before is a great point. Hitting the ball away from Broderick is a mistake. You want to just dump it almost to him or near it.
Right at his feet, not to either side of him. Trying to make him get out of his own way.
That's a great hold
There's
there.
a hold. 4-2.
Screen drive there by Broderick.
15 love.
Wow.
What a fantastic hold by Palmer.
John Hughes is doing such a great job with those higher, deeper lobs. Not really letting Broderick
love.
hit those cutters like he was in the earlier match.
Yeah, so far we haven't been able to see Broderick dominate with those cutting overheads due to those good lobs.
See, like that, he's really pulling Jared Palmer out of the service box. George, when Drew hits that cutter to the deuce side, you have to take it an extra step, right? I mean, you were playing the deuce side when he was coming at you with that ball.
Yeah, you've got to keep your feet under your shoulders. The second you take one
Love.
large lunging step, you're going to get caught with a reaching lob or reaching drive. Or you've got to be constantly moving your feet, even if you think you know where the ball's going. That's the worst thing you can think, because that ball never lands the same, even when it's got the same spin. It moves all over the place. It's so unpredictable. And there's the best shot from Jared Palmer right there. His offensive volley
Stuffed it.
behind the player.
Yep.
Stuffs the guy.
Yeah, the problem there is they hit two dinks in a row. You hit the first dink to draw the guy back
then a
in, but if
block
he
lob.
deals with it, then you with the block lob up to move the pace back
Right.
again. He went dink, then dink.
The APTA thanks our official sponsors, Save-A-Tree, the green choice of tree, shrub, and lawn care. Let Save-A-Tree focus on your landscape so you can focus on your game and enjoy every outdoor moment at home or at play. Save-A-Tree provides environmentally sensible services to properties in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and Western regions. Contact them at saveatree.com for a complimentary landscape assessment by a knowledgeable arborist. So that was a quick hold for Broderick Palmer. And John Hughes serving with the new ball. Like I said, every 7 games, a new ball will be put in play. So 4-3, first set. Oh,
His spin overheads and spin serve are exceptional, and they've been constantly improving. That's a great dig.
And Hughes and Powers, especially after this tournament, they've only got one way to go, and that's up. They're going to get better and better and better.
And they're already at number 3.
Right. Oh, wow!
That was right out of Broderick's book.
Right out of his book. Powers' forehand volley is lethal today. That's just a perfect overhead. He forced Jared Palmer to get out of his own way so he didn't hit at the ball, and that was the opposite direction of where the ball was traveling towards, and he couldn't catch up with himself.
smart choice to back off the net there. Ooh. Well done.
Fantastic point.
40 love.
These guys have elevated their level of play. Hughes and Powers.
Jared's another one of your favorites. Wow!
Oh, wow. Seeing eye
Nuzzled
drive.
it over around the side there.
40
A
15.
heck of a spot. That spent the entire time out of bounds until it landed right on the line.
And the backhand overhead that you're seeing, folks, don't try that at home.
Exactly.
It's not highly recommended, right, Jerry?
The flying Wallenda flick down up overhead requires tremendous athleticism.
Oh, he wasn't missing that before. It's the ball he wants.
Wasn't really set to move
No.
forward there. It was going to the left
Yep.
as you're swinging at it.
He's got to move more left first, so that when he hits, he can move forwards to the right, and then he's not missing that shot.
Great volleys. Wow.
Uh-oh. What a volley from Howard. He'll get that. That was
Whoa.
so much better. What a volley, Drew Broderick.
He stands right there, stays squared up with it. Amazing shot.
He's got the perfect paddle volleys, PPV. Doesn't flinch. Stays dead still.
Wow. Oh! And
Oh,
Broderick is
wow.
coming in, and he catches him behind him. That's a great, great hold there from Hughes and Powers. That was a big point, actually. I think they get that back to deuce, and they could squeak that game in.
3-5.
Something-
Jared Palmer serving.
Something that John Hughes hasn't done at all yet in this match. Oh my goodness, that just bobbled over. John Hughes ran up the side screen and moved over and drove his forehand. If he can do that more, it's going to cause so many problems for Broderick and Palmer.
That's 2 quick points.
And it's 30-15.
30-15.
Broderick and Palmer.
Whoa.
And Montalbano almost caught that up there on his picnic table.
Just a couple of harder serves, a little more pace there from Palmer.
Yep.
Causes a little missed time from the Powers return. Takes it very early, very quick return, but good change of paces there from Palmer. 40-15.
Didn't take the last step.
Game. Broderick Palmer.
Right, so that's the little
Powers, Hughes,
momentum
leads
swing that
5-4
Hughes and
first
Powers,
set.
they need to take their time. I feel like they rushed that game. It was boom, boom, boom. They played a great game to get up 5-3, and then just like that. And that's the kind of things that Broderick and Palmer just will eat up. You know, they'll grab it. You don't get a lot of chances. You don't get a lot of looks with them. And
Yeah, in that game rather, we missed 3 returns. You don't see that very often. I think the good thing about Hughes and Powers is I don't think they have long memories about
so
it.
it's
I
the
think
delete
they're gonna-
button will kick
hopefully,
in.
hopefully it is. We'll see. I think for them, it's whether you took the right shot or not. And I think if they feel comfortable with the shot they took, they don't mind if they miss it.
So Mark Powers serving for the set. He's just elevated this year.
Love 15.
George, just right with the overheads. Drew, I mean, he just seems to
Oh,
be
yeah,
putting
yeah.
so much more bite again this
He's
season.
clearly been in the gym. He's bulked up a significant amount. He's clearly in the best shape of his life. He's hitting the ball harder. He's moving better. He's getting less tired. And it's showing on the court. You're absolutely right.
Uh-oh. All right.
This is the same tactics that we saw in the opening game. Hughes and Powers putting the ball down the middle. Both teams are just waiting. They're both building the point.
Oh, wow, Mark Powers.
He's doing a great
Rare
job.
opportunity, rare occurrence. You see Jared Palmer get stuck with a volley in a blitz exchange.
I tell you, Powers is standing right in there waiting for those, though.
He's loving it. Oh, just pulls the trigger and it's an explosion drive off the back end this time.
30-15.
Oh,
40-15.
45.
2 set
Serving
points.
for the set. There's one.
Great return.
40-30.
I think Broderick and Power are worried right now, Joe.
Watch out.
This is when they're most dangerous.
That's a good one.
What a fantastic
Game in
set
first
from
set.
Hughes and
And
Powers.
there's
They're
the
taking
first set.
6-4.
Hughes and Powers, 6-4. Any surprises there, George, or they continued on with what they played, how they played in the semi-final?
No surprise. I think they're playing a different style, slightly, but no surprises. They have the perfect game plan and they're executing it and they're having fun out there. And yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest with you.
All right, well, we're going to be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live. welcome back to the Duane Hayden Long Island Invitational. We're in the finals of the men's tournament here. And we've just seen Hughes and Powers take their first set 6-4. Just talking about it in the break. And Brad, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was a great set from Hughes and Power. A lot of strategy and very sound strategy. See a couple of things that they're doing out here in the backcourt. At the net, They're dumping the ball down the middle, and they're leaving Powers closer to the net. So when Broderick and Palmer drive, he's right there for a drop volley or to stuff it back behind him. And you're seeing Hughes take a few more of the overhead, so he's a little tighter. I think Broderick and Palmer are going to want to lob Powers off the net as much as they can in that second set. And then you're seeing from the backcourt the ability to stay steady, high lobs. We don't see Broderick dominating with his overhead. And the big difference, say, between this team, Hughes and Powers, and, say, the semifinal match, Brad Babitsky and Grant Jaros, Hughes and Powers are really able to generate that backcourt offense when they have a strike. So hard balls that it's not easy, even for a great volleying team like Broderick and Palmer. So great strategy.
Right, so we hope you're enjoying the live streaming, the APTA network, and one of the other APTA initiatives is the B Championships. And this is a new initiative this year. We're going to have championships for the women March 15th, 16th, and then the men March 16th, 18th, and then also the APTA National League Championships in April. And we're starting the second set.
Now, George, I've never seen Broderick and Palmer actually get phased. Have you?
I have once.
When was that?
You probably
Chicago.
caused it.
Against you?
Yes, that's right.
And then my partner decided to slice the end of his thumb off with diving for a ball. But yeah, I have seen them phased a couple of times, but I don't feel like they're phased here. I feel they're like, I don't think I've ever said this, but they're not executing their game plan quite as well as Hughes and Powers, and that's why Hughes and Powers came out with a win in the first set. They're definitely not as comfortable as they normally are. There you go, right there. The lefty spin overhead from Hughes is really causing the damage, and it's making the difference right now with the points in the match.
It still amazes me that Jared Palmer can play at this level without having a paddle in his hand for weeks at a time.
Another backhand overhead, Jared. It was a phenomenal backhand overhead from Drew. Broderick, did you see that, Brad?
I
did.
Wow.
In the gym,
Tim
is
Hemman
paying
would
off.
have been proud of that.
Shout out to your countrymen there, George.
Correct. Here's another one.
Wow.
It's the Henman overhead. Wow. Starting to enjoy it.
Well, we're starting to see a lot of it.
Brad, are you gonna teach that ladies team 18 practice tomorrow morning?
Well, I tell you what, you don't have to move your feet as much when you do it.
Oh, he's itching for that forehand. Let that, wow. Gotta go hard.
Great hands there.
Looks like a half volley block lob.
There it goes. Powers up the side wire. Good overhead.
Fake. That was such delicacy. It was like he was putting
15-30.
cream cheese on a cracker. He just slithered it down to his feet. Wow.
But I was surprised that Palmer hit such a down-up flat overhead from so far out of the service box.
I agree with you, Jerry.
You're trying to regroup from the
I
cream
am.
cheese comment. You can. I'll cover for everybody here for a minute.
Cream cheese on a cracker. Come on.
Brad almost, just for those of you who are listening at home, Brad Easterbrook almost fell off of his chair.
Goodness gracious.
But again, just that flat overhead from Palmer from so far out of the service box. Look, there's Powers Powers again is moving over, looking to pounce.
He's looking for that ball.
Yeah. Look.
I've never
Definitely.
seen Palmer and Broderick get caught out of position with lobs at the net until now. This is incredible. Sneaky, look at him.
Yeah, Powers has added a few elements to his game this year. More backhands. He stands inside the baseline now, baiting guys looking to take the ball early because he has such exceptional timing on those early balls.
Look at that block lob. That's wide. That block lob, he could have driven it. He chose
15-40.
to block it quickly down the line, rush his opponent, and force Drew Broderick into making the error because he didn't have as much time as he normally does. Incredibly smart lob.
5:40. Break point opportunities for Hughes and Powers. And there's the
Ooh.
break early in the second set.
Game
Great
Powers
play
Hughes.
there. How about that?
Not
First
counting
game,
out
second
the three-time national champions. I think the deeper it gets in, the more they're going to get determined. Their determination and their mental toughness. They're loving this.
Yeah, Broderick and Palmer are not phased at all. They understand that the situation is serious, but they're going to dig deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
We have yet to see Broderick and Palmer be able to hurt Hughes and Powers yet, though.
I know the questions we were asking at the start with Drew Broderick's lefty spin overhead into the deuce score against John Powers. You know, for most right-handed players in the deuce, it's very problematic, but they have the forehand lob most of the time. And John Hughes, being a lefty, has a backhand lob, which can get you caught with less control on a low ball. But so far, it hasn't phased him at all. And he's been rock solid over there.
All right, it's a great way to start the second set. Serving up 1-0. Wow. His cut overhead into Palmer's corner,
love.
definitely causing damage. You're right about that, George.
$15.
Great volley. Missed it. Exceptional hands. He pushed it a little hard.
15.
He was still moving right to his right on that volley.
Go.
He wasn't quite centered to the ground on contact, and it just made him not hit the center of the paddle and cause the error. You have to try to get, even if you're slightly out of position at the net, you have to try to be still when your opponent's making contact with their drive so you can move left or
30-40.
right with balance. That's going to help a lot of your volleys out there.
There you go. Oh, there's the break.
Game
How about that? That's a
1-all,
fortunate
second
game
set.
there. A couple of good shots, a couple of
just-
faults.
Hughes and Powers need to take more time. They get ahead and then they change their speed of play.
Right.
He rushed that service game.
Yeah. And that's going to give Broderick and Palmer a second win.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
You just can't give them a window at all.
I
And
agree with you, Jerry. You gotta.
That's something that Hughes and Powers have got to learn to recognize and control. It's another piece. I just have the feeling that Broderick is going to start taking over.
I'd like to see John Hughes move over and drive that forehand.
Get up the wire.
No, before the wire.
Okay.
He's one of the best players jammed in that side screen. Just on a good deep lob that Powers does down the line, I would see him get his bum on the side screen and nail the drive. Wow.
Again, that's John Hughes lobbing down the line and pulling Broderick and Palmer out of the service box.
I'm not sure why Palmer isn't letting some of these overheads drop instead of hitting it from a high position. Whew.
15-0.
Like that. Just the same
Missed
thing
it.
as Powers is missing them sometimes before. He's got to move a little bit earlier so he can move forwards to his left
30-15.
in the direction
We
of
have a-
target when he's hitting that ball.
Is there a question on a call there? Or?
No, I think Lisa Redlove was just confirming the score.
All right. Great dig. Wow.
A couple of misses from Palmer that we don't normally see.
30-0.
Well, it's like we talked about. It's not easy not having a paddle in your hand for that long.
Right. That's phenomenal.
Great leg cord there.
40.
Break point opportunity here.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
It hit him. Great shot. It's not easy to hit
Hughes,
Jared Palmer.
they
Some
lead
of the fastest
2-1,
hands in the
second
game.
set. We won the first set
He's been doing
6-4.
that all day.
and Uline is the leading distributor of shipping, industrial, and packaging materials to businesses throughout the North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them 24 hours a day,
Next
7 days a week. Uline the best selection of products and people for an unforgettable customer experience. And I'm sure they will be busy with the holiday season coming up.
Absolutely will.
Okay, let's watch the speed of play now on this service game for Hughes and Powell.
It felt like the last service game. There were a couple loose errors in there, but they started hitting harder overheads instead of going to the slower overheads and waiting for the right ball to attack.
Great fake on the drop shot there from Mark Powers. Was that ball in?
I do not know. I could not see it beyond it.
Was good.
Could hear from the umpire.
Ball was good.
It was good.
Ball was good.
That was that little
Yes,
slower scout
15.
shot.
There it is again. Great combination play there. Mark Powers does a block lob down the line. There it is again. He's baiting Drew to hit into John's side screen. There it is again. What a fantastic lob.
Goes
I think-
right at Palmer there.
Right, we're starting to
15-0.
see that little, maybe that little bit of not being on the court as much. Timing is not quite there. They had a lot of paddle yesterday in the quarterfinals. And Hughes and Powers have nothing to lose. The pressure is really on the higher seeded 3-time national champions. They don't want to lose to these young guns.
Oh, look at that. Ooh. Great get there by Palmer.
Gideon.
Full swing. I don't know, that had something to do with cream cheese, but that was incredible full swing drop shot. We'll see if we can get you
We'll
that
grab
from
that.
our production crew.
We'll grab that.
That one was
Kelly's
slithered
all over it.
margarine. Wow. Confidence is flying high for Hughes and Powers, both of them.
To take a full cut on a ball like that out of the air, your confidence must be flying high.
Towards the end of the third set, in the semis, I think Hughes and Flowers played perfect paddle, and I think they're playing perfect paddle right now.
40-15.
Obviously, there's some errors here and there, but
Right.
they're playing perfect paddle.
They're moving into that champion mentality. You can see it. They believe it.
Oh my goodness! And there's the shot clock.
Oh, there's the
Game
frustration
Powers
shot. Yeah,
Hughes.
instead of
They lead
playing a normal
3-1.
long
New
point, he
ball
wanted to
race.
end it with a hard overhead at the body.
3-1, second set.
All right, we're going to have a look at that replay.
There we go, full swing. And what's the contact window like on that, George? So fine.
There it is again.
He's finding such a fine piece of the ball.
Incredible.
15 love.
That was a good break there for Palmer on that one.
Love. There's that block lob down the line. That's a smart overhead from Drew Broderick. He's not buying into that play anymore. This is going to be heavy.
Smart leave.
See, Drew Broderick's looking to take more of the balls at net.
Not able to get Hughes out of position. Great job throwing those lobs up.
His movement's just really taking away all that.
Ah!
Oh, wow.
That was a big, heavy cutter inside.
30 love.
I think John Hughes has got to get back to focusing on lobbing down Jared's left shoulder down the line. Don't let Drew get into this, hitting those cutters.
Went for a hard serve there, Palmer did. Again.
Oh, and an ace.
There it is again.
40-15.
Great serve right into the crease. For a taller player, that's a decent play. Aim for that crease. The angle to do it.
Yeah, but how about the courage to hit a serve like that at this point in the match?
That block lob again with Powers moving inside the court. Such touch on that,
40-30.
and he's stealing all the time, as you said before, George. No time for Palmer to get back to get that. Oh,
Game Broderick Palmer.
Well, that was a good
Hughes.
hold.
Lead
Yeah, that was
3-2,
big.
second set.
And Viking Athletic is the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour. And we thank them for their sponsorship. So George, what are you seeing here? You're feeling an upset?
I can't answer that at the moment, to be honest with you. You can never count out Broderick and Palmer, and this set's by no means no one's leading this set at the moment. I know everybody feels like Hughes and Powers are on top and they're a set up, but it really doesn't mean anything against this specific team, because things can go the opposite direction so quickly. I definitely think they're in the perfect position to win this match. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of action.
Oh, he went for the Ginsu.
See, now here's the danger of feeling a little
15.
too confident. He went for a shot on the point before when it was 40-30, hit it out. He went for that shot, but this is the only way to put it into play is to practice it in the pressure situations.
Great partnership from Mark Powers to core hit. Jared Palm was coming in. What a get, Drew Broderick.
Wow.
We're seeing that volleying display from John Hughes like he did in the semis again.
Oh, head fake.
Wow.
That's
what
so well
a
done.
point.
So well done. And it's like you
15-all.
said before in one of the previous matches, you want to make them move up and back some.
Right.
Not
that's
just
exactly
back
what's
side
happening.
across the court horizontal. You want to make them move up and back, push them out of position, and see if you can get the ball
30-15.
behind them.
That's exactly what they're doing, Brad.
All.
Aye. Maybe getting a little off strategy there.
30-40.
Long.
Game Broderick.
Now those
Palmer.
games, that's where
3-all.
there's a little crack. We're getting a little off strategy here, trying too much, feeling it too good. Cutter wide, tried for the backhand cutter, push shot into the net, and a fault. That wasn't a game that was won by Broderick and Palmer. It was more a little off strategy there from Hughes and Powers.
Well,
Yep.
also, again, it's the same. It was the speed of play when John Hughes is serving. That's the second time that's happened.
That fine balance between
Yes.
finding your offense and picking the right shots.
Yes.
I don't know why he's hitting that
15
drive
love.
at medium pace. He's got to just pound it.
But the speed of play is changing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And their control, Hughes and Powers are in control of that. Spectacular snowboard volley.
The
15-all.
sponsorship just got damaged there.
All 3-all, second set.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh,
There it
So
is.
quick. Palmer's moving back, hitting that hard to challenge Powers. It doesn't make sense to do it.
30.
He's too good at that.
That's exactly what he wants. Oh, he's just getting so creative.
Too ambitious.
30-all.
Oh,
Missed it.
Smart play there by Hughes. Just pop it back up.
Powers is not driving it every single time when he moves over. He doesn't want to be predictable. So he's getting himself in the same position to drive it and faking the drive and then doing a block lob down the line sometimes. So he's being very unpredictable with his backcourt play. And that time he pulls the trigger.
Oh!
Great point from Broderick Palmer.
Huge point. This would be an incredibly huge hold for
40-30.
Broderick Palmer.
All right, 4-3.
Palmer, they lead 4-3.
Kind of feel those last two games have definitely turned the tide in favor of Broderick and Palmer. And so we have a good shot here of our trailer. We're in there. Give a wave, George. There we go. That's our side here. And we have been here. The Long Island Platform Tennis Association has hosted 3 national championships here in 92, 2002, and 2012. And they're scheduled to host in 2022. I believe the Huntington Country Club is getting a new hut, so the members are looking forward to that. But we have enjoyed our broadcasting booth here.
So do you think Powers and Hughes are having a little conversation about the pace here?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, it
Otherwise,
didn't feel
it's going to
like
change.
Broderick and Palmer were winning those games. It felt like
Yep.
Hughes and Powers got off topic.
I definitely feel like this is going to be the toughest game for Hughes and Powers to win against Broderick and Palmer right now.
That was a great volley there from Broderick. Court winner.
Oh!
That's the one you wanted to hit, George. That hard one in there.
Hard.
Not the roller, but through the ball.
15-all.
See how he set his paddle so early on that before the ball hit the court.
He thumped it.
He had the angle to hit across court because it was a high point of contact. Henman.
Oh, great job defending, and he overhits it.
15.
Mishit wide. That's a big wide serve there.
40-15.
Here it comes. There it is.
Wow. Great disguise against.
40-30.
I'm surprised Drew didn't hit Zora overhead on that one.
I don't think he was ready for it, George. Oh, great blitz. Not called out there by Powers. He's got to
Deuce.
watch with his eyes forward, make sure Palmer's not coming in. Great play. Deuce.
We can see that Jared Palmer's trying to make some plays happen for us in this match. He's looking to blitz a lot more. He's getting active.
That's a big play for him, the blitz.
Right.
So if he can start making those plays, that's great.
Advantage
Great point.
Broderick.
sees him moving in. He hits the cutter,
Deuce.
spins it out wide. The screen, great play, deuce.
Jumping, stay still. Barely missed the volley.
Advantage Broderick.
This set. Bye-bye.
Oh,
How did he get ready for that volley?
you know
Feel
what?
like-
This is the point in the match where the top players are able to raise their game. This is what separates.
That's a great cut overhead again.
Deuce.
But you do feel like Palmer's starting to raise his game a little bit now.
Yeah, I do. I do, and I just feel like Drew is just once Jared Palmer gets a little bit more consistent, a little bit more confident, he's going to start to flow like that. And I just feel that Jared Palmer is the north on the compass for that team. As tough as Drew is, Jared's, that mental toughness that he has, and is really an anchor for Drew
Advantage
Broderick.
Broderick.
Partnerships are so important.
Yeah.
Broderick and Palmer are knocking on the door.
Yeah, you can feel it. Hughes and Powers have got to stay with their game plan that's been working, and they got to believe.
Wow.
How's that volley from Jared Palmer?
Yeah.
And Drew. Awkward spot, he still makes the volley.
Here it is. And there's the break. Great job by Broderick and Palmer.
And that's the difference, George, that you were saying, that Mark was not over far enough to the left to move forward to hit that shot.
Yep.
But it slowly
they're not.
slips
They're
away. Once
upstairs,
you
yeah.
lost a little bit of that off topic, they got a
5-4
little off
Broderick
topic. Now
Palmer.
it's slipping.
5-3,
slipping.
excuse me.
They're
Thank
gonna have to
you.
regroup right now.
Yeah, they gave
They opened
they gave
the
Broderick
window.
and
Yeah,
Palmer
hang on.
a
Wait till the
molehill
next
and they turned it into a mountain.
You guys are good, yeah.
Okay, Dennis, the body
Team love.
language of John Hughes has changed. He can't show anything. Broderick Palmer will see that.
Look at that flick
Look at
volley.
these volleys. Incredible.
Another one. Oh, great
Wow,
movement.
that's a great shot. It is 30 love now. Great play for
30
Palmer
love.
Broderick.
Gotta get those lobs up higher and deeper. Broderick's just waiting for a shorter lob. That's it, good combination.
have to cover. Maybe not the right time for Powers to move inside.
Well, I think it was great pace on the third panel slam. He didn't hit it as hard as he normally would, and it didn't make it to the back screen. It was just such a great fake.
There
And
it is.
there's the hold, and second set.
6-3.
6-3 to Broderick Palmer, and we saw that coming at 3-all.
Yeah, no, it's like you could feel that Hughes and Powers had things under control. Almost they were started feeling too good.
Yeah.
It went for a couple of sloppy shots, and they started to make errors. They opened the window, as you said, Jerry, and then now they seem to have lost control of the shots they're going for or not. And you can see Broderick and Palmer starting to play better. Palmer specifically playing better.
All right, well, we'll be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA network presented by eNet Live.
To the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah. And it's a good, I won't even worry anymore. Took all my cares, took and kicked them all out the door. Go on and try, come and tell me what you're waiting for. Move and keep them going till your life is overflowing, yeah. I do a dance of victory. Cause now I'm living good, no I'm not living like I used to be. Now talk about things, talk about my mind. Now I'm free from the words that I left behind. I gotta jump for joy and shout aloud and make a sound. Oh, the world can stop me now, no. And on the music I will ride on the beat. Play my guitar, I won't stop on my feet, yeah. I gotta celebrate life and get excited about good times and good living. Come on, shout it out, hey! Take it up, take it over, take it out of control. Today I'm freeing my soul and now you got me singing, oh, hey, oh, I'm feeling fine.
Welcome back to the Duane Hayden Long Island Invitational. We are about to see the start of the third set in the men's final. Broderick Palmer just took the second set, 6-3, after Hughes and Powers won the first set. And it's all about heart right now, Brad, and the belief and trusting your shots under pressure. And I just think Hughes and Powers had the right strategy, the right game plan, and they just got away from it a little bit at that middle part of the second set.
Yeah, they were up 3-2, Jerry.
Yep, and
that's
you
when
could
it
look like
shifted.
it was theirs.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it was the speed of play. They rushed up a little bit. Both of them changed the pace, and that was all it took for Broderick and Palmer.
Yeah, basically
to
they
step
just
up.
flipped the script. And with that, they had Broderick and Palmer a little, I wouldn't say they were phased, as we were talking about before, but they were certainly not comfortable hitting their shots. Now you see Palmer starting to step up, looking for blitzes. His offense is coming around, not as much domination. So really, this third set is all about Hughes and Powers being able to regroup, getting back to their strategy, still taking the offense with it. It's not that they need to play, in a sense, steady. They have to take the offense when they get it, but they have to eliminate the silly errors, the fast play, the fault, missed cut shot, and just giving them that window, because Broderick and Palmer are actually improving now.
Well,
and I think Palmer's back.
Yeah, especially the more balls that Palmer got to hit, the better he got, and then the more confidence went up, and then when he's solid and consistent, you see Drew's confidence go up.
Yep, and you could start seeing at the end there, Drew, a little more with the overheads, a little more domination, a little more movement. So we're going to see right now, we've seen Powers and Hughes come back time and time again. They are a tough team, and they know how to do it, but they're going to have to regroup, get their strategy back, and so we look forward to an entertaining third set.
This first game will show us a lot, I believe.
I think that the fine line of difference, the reason that they lost that set is they tried to win points instead of play aggressive and smart and make things as awkward as possible for their opponents, and then points come their way. They were trying to just force a couple of balls that they weren't before, and that made a few more areas jump into their set. and ended up second best. And we're off.
John Hughes is serving.
It's got to be harder. That's a great lob. And Broderick put his trousers back on. He had them off. He's keeping himself warm. Starting to read that explosive drive from Powers now. That was a drive that was catching him out before, and he was ready for that one.
Left 15.
That's the move that they use to great effect. Palmer coming in. He's starting to feel more comfortable out there. But great hands there by Hughes Powers. There we go.
30-15.
What a half five from Jared Palmer. Has he played tennis before? Made it look so casual and easy.
Jared Palmer, Grand Slam champion, as George is alluding to.
Hear Broderick getting more serve out there. This is where you start to feel, oh, they're even getting the breaks now, but they're going to have to hang in there. Break point here for Broderick Palmer. This would be 5 games in a row now for them if they win this one.
That's a great one.
Great cut overhead.
Just the spot he wanted, it dropped. The natural angle said that that was going to be a side then a back screen, but the heavy slice spin made it just a side screen. It just dropped like a stone. Oof. Oof.
Oh, great chase. Oh, boy.
That's just what he wanted. Oh, and the pump from Broderick and Parga. They are fired up. They are taking this third set.
Look at the body language of both teams from that 1 point.
Careful.
Yeah.
Gotta watch that down overhead. They're standing in waiting for it.
fantastic setup over again from John Hughes. Look at that lob from Jared Palmer. It's perfection. Could have pulled the trigger.
Could've.
Chose not to.
That's the lob. That little higher, deeper one down the line. It
That
sets
was
up
fun.
Mark Powers.
I would like to see Powers go now. Now that Drew
Yeah.
Broderick started reading that play, I'd like to see Powers rip some of those forehands cross court back onto Jared Palmer's feet, who's more off the net than his partner is. It's coming a little bit predictable.
It's a great point.
Oh!
What disguise from Jared Palmer
Game Broderick Palmer.
on
ball
a
was just
pivotal
a-
point.
Right, that ball was just a little high on the back screen. Jared, like you said, set his paddle early, so he held it. And then drove that ball right down at
They are
John's
starting
feet.
to look very comfortable now. What we saw before completely changed. Great playing there from Broderick and Palmer. Not the way Hughes and Powers wanted to start that set, but time to regroup.
Love.
15 love.
All.
Drew was waiting for it again.
30-15.
I still think it's the right shot selection. I'd just like to see him aim some of those cross court.
combination of John Hughes hitting the drive, and then that next lob I just think needs to be much higher. Get him off the net. That's it.
Waiting around the net post.
Way to stay calm from Jared Palmer.
See how the game of Broderick and Palmer has improved. They were winning points with those spot offense earlier on in the match. Now they're volleying them back, letting them go through and playing from the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
blimey.
You just
that's
can't hit those floaters anymore.
Yeah.
These guys have all got the cutter. I mean, that's one of the shots, don't you think, that's coming to the men's game, that more and more guys.
More and more guys have
Yep.
it. Yep. Yeah, we saw it the other day. Bobitsky and Grangero. Bobitsky hit a tremendous one. I think it was in the third set for a winner underneath the net from close.
He said that as he was hitting, he was thinking, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that," and then he saw it going over the net. He says, "Yes."
No.
It's like, what am I doing? Well
Yeah.
done, me.
Exactly right. There you go.
Exactly.
Oh, great balance from John Hughes. That ball hit the nick and it shot out.
There we go.
unpredictably.
It's so hard, this balance, right? I mean, they need to
30-40.
keep generating the offense without taking the chance.
Well, this will be big to stop the bleeding here for Powers, and that is
Game power.
a great
Hughes,
gift. They'll
1-all.
take it 1-all. That's great.
I feel like that's a must-win game for Hughes Powers, or every game is in this third set, given the situation with Broderick and Palmer, because they're kind of steamrolling up the last two shots from Palmer.
You just got to stop the bleeding, as they say.
Right.
That was huge. It makes such a difference. Because when things are going bad, you feel like that would have been a leg court winner when things are going
Yep.
against you. And now it's
Exactly.
in the top of the net. Now you're like, okay, I got some energy. I'm back.
So we could be seeing it. Ah!
Great dipping
I was
return.
about to say we could see a little momentum shift.
Well, we've seen 3 quick points where an error has been made in the first 3 hits of each of those rallies.
Look at the footwork from Jared Palmer. He is high energy right now. If there's a partner you would want in this situation, Brad, who would it be in the whole country?
Oh, for when the chips are down and staying with the strategy, I mean, I would definitely take Drew Broderick.
Exactly. This is what he thrives on. He's all about these moments. He is the captain of the team, and he will come out on these matches over and over and over, just like he did in the quarters of nationals this past year. He was out and done, and he pulled back the best comeback I've ever seen in the game. And he just he loves these challenges in these moments, and big pressure against new teams with new shots. He just loves it.
You would say that Drew Broderick is the toughest out in the game. You have to finish him off. He'll get beaten possibly, but he'll never lose a match
Right.
because he's not there to the end fighting to the last point.
Do you think he was born tough like Jimmy Connor's toughness, or do you think he had to learn that mental toughness?
I think it's a talent. Everybody talks about talent as shot making skills, racket head speed, spin shot, physical
30-40.
quickness, hands. I also think that, mental toughness and the desire to win, and this mentality that Drew Broderick has I think it's a talent.
They lead 2-1. Final set.
He's
Wow.
got Jimmy Connor's toughness.
Oh, he sure does. And there's the break right back. Broderick Palmer up 2-1.
As they say, the joy is the battle.
Oh, feathered that in there.
Just lobbed right down.
Oh, wow. Great dig. Broderick going to work here, though. Very nice.
15 love.
So short lobs. It's got too
15
much.
love. Oh, hello. See how he was moving towards where his target was?
Oh,
hello.
hit him again.
There you go. Pulled the trigger a couple of times. That's a great shot there.
That's an excessive armpit shot, don't you think?
15
Yeah,
30.
Broderick didn't even see that one coming.
Yeah.
He was surprised by that. That's the quickness of Power's release. Look at that. 3 quick points on 2 drives in the fault. That's great for Powers and Hughes. Great points.
Missed it wide. That was a good fake hold by Mark Powers there. And we're 2-all in the third set in the final of the APTA Grand Prix, the third leg at the Long Island Invitational. Duane Hayden, Long Island Invitational. John Hughes is serving.
Now the last service game went a little quick in the pace. Oh, what a return there, though. I'd almost like to see him take a little pace off that serve.
15.
Palmer's been eating up the screen drive return these days.
It was an accidental tweener. Great move.
Oh.
Great
pace.
spin.
15 all.
Aye. Oh, that was the right shot, but he didn't move his feet. I think he was like, made a guest appearance in front of John, but didn't commit the feet. John Hughes set that play up for Mark Powers
15
by
40.
lobbing down the line. And now it's 5:40.
Look at that footwork from John Hughes to get around that ball.
That was a great long cutter there right
30,
at
40.
Broderick. Tough block to make.
Did the hard work and it paid off. Oh, Drew ripped that return.
Aye!
Wow! Wow!
Oh, come on!
What a dig!
Yes.
There's a good switch. Oh, interesting.
Game
Great
What
work.
happened there? You got caught off
3-2,
balance?
Final set.
I think
Yeah,
he
that
just
spin just hit the side screen and dropped.
didn't read the spin. It was just a great shot there by Broderick.
I'll get
That whole point was about survival. They never could quite get into it. It's a great blitz there from
It's somewhere out there.
Palmer to set it up.
Drew Broderick's asking where the ball is, and the answer is
this
not
will
in
be
the
start of
court.
the sixth with this ball.
Lisa Rudloff is our umpire with ball tracking skills as well. She is the director
okay with
of racket sports here at the Huntington Country Club. So Broderick Palmer up 3-2 in the third set. Hughes and Powers won the first set 6-4. Looked like they were in control early in the second set. Momentum changed, made a couple of quick points, and Broderick and Palmer pounced. Pulled that second set out 6-3.
It's been all breaks so far in this third.
Drew Broderick's overheads are definitely doing more damage now. They weren't really doing any
15
damage
love.
like we expected they would in the first set, but now they're doing the damage. Careful with that side screen overhead, Mark Powers. Great shot from Drew Broderick. Oi, great action on the ball from John Hughes. Loading his legs, getting low and rotating his hips. Generating so much side spin on the ball.
Oh, that's the shot that John Hughes has improved since Pittsburgh. That lob down to straight down the line.
Great pace there from Palmer, holding it soft down the middle.
30-15.
Huge return of
There we
serve
go.
by Mark Powers.
Yeah, I want to
John
see
Hughes
some
was
more.
coming in behind it.
I want to see some more cross-court drives from Mark Powers. Uh-oh.
There we go. Great returns.
40.
They both have huge returns. They're doing a I formation here now, taking away that cross-court return.
Right. And it's break back point.
That's
What a
great
get
spin.
from Mark Powers.
Oh,
There we go.
yes. That was
What a spot.
huge. That was
Powers
huge to
Hughes,
step in
3-0.
and take that swing right then.
There's a battle here.
3-0, third set. Finals of the Duane Hayden Long Island Invitational.
Great hands up there by Powers staying in.
He'll get that.
The guys have been playing 2 hours. Don't see any signs of physical fatigue, do you guys?
Not yet. Oh, I believe Palmer got his paddle stuck underneath on the snowboard there. It's great waterfall overhead.
It sounded like it was paddle caught in a rat trap. So first back and drive, Drew Broderick's missed this tournament.
30-15.
Ooh, a couple of uncharacteristic errors. They've been
15.
weeding those out of the game. Game points here for our first hold. Great. Woo,
Powers
great
Hughes.
volleying there from Powers Hughes.
4-3. Final set. Jared, I'm gonna give this to you. Watch. Sorry.
And just when you think Broderick and Palmer are going to make a run and get a stream of games, Powers and Hughes dug deep. They took their chances. They've had a lot of discussions with each other strategically, and they put themselves back in the lead in this match, and they lead by 4-3 in the deciding set.
And I love the fact that they just walked across the other side of the court together laughing.
That's right.
So that is a fabulous sign. As is a team, you want to stay focused but relaxed.
Absolutely.
And that shows a lot right now. So 3-4, third set, Broderick serving. They can't afford to lob short. I just think Drew, spin overheads, the combination. They've got to keep that shot out of the match right now.
That ball almost bounced over the fence.
And it's
Oh.
a new ball.
There you go. Great
115.
deep lobs. Like you said, Jerry, no short lobs in that point. Nothing to really do too much damage with. Oh, so well done.
Might have been just a little too hard.
Yep.
The right play, but just a little too much speed.
Here he is.
Oi, 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 oi,
Waiting for
oi,
that.
oi, oi.
Talk about bounce hit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bubba.
He's on it so fast.
Drew just focused on getting out of the way that time, which is a very smart play. Be trying to make that volley.
That's one of the things you'll notice. Good players won't try to make volleys they don't have a good chance of making. They'll let it go through and track it down.
It's deadly.
15 all. Yep.
Drew's overhead off that low lob. It's got so much spin. It breaks, kicks into the screen, and then just drops. 5 all.
Got the net tape overhead.
Nice move.
Oh!
Nice move. Powers hit that ball up the line, and Hughes was all the way over by the side screen before they touched the overhead. 5:30.
See how Jared Palmer's been a little bit more careful with the stuff volley. They normally would go at the player that was in the position of Mark Powers. He was, on no man's land, moving backwards, but he decided to keep it away from him because he's not been winning all those exchange volleys.
30 all.
The biggest point of the match by far right now, guys.
Oh
my Gideon.
How about that? A little bit of a confusion there.
30-40.
Palmer behind Broderick there. Broderick lets it go and it hits Palmer.
They were both trying to do the Matrix move. Ooh,
Wow,
look
what
at that little
those
flicky business.
hands.
Ah,
Oh, jeez, that's so good.
Oi!
So good.
Break point to go 5-3 for Hughes and Powers right here, folks. He wants to hit that. He's gonna hit one of those in a minute.
Here it is.
That's the spot. He wants to get chicken wing volley out of Drew Broderick.
Perfect wall at the net there by Broderick Palmer.
This is trouble. Great lob.
Nice combination.
What a volley from Drew Broderick.
Whoa.
What a spot to pick.
What a
Chicken wing
great
volley.
point that was, though.
Well, win or lose this match, welcome to the big league, Hughes and Powers.
Absolutely.
They have arrived.
All right, here we are. 5-3, serving for the match.
What a leave. Oh, look at this. They're playing such intelligent paddle.
And they're playing within themselves.
Well, this was the formula before. It's like George said early on, they started trying to win some points at a certain point in time. Now you see Hughes not winning the point, but setting up the next ball.
Oh, I thought I was going to drop in and do something funky.
Left 15. Left 30.
Oh, good spot.
Oh, and that's it.
Wow!
You've got
How
to
about
be kidding
that?
me.
Well, that is some shot right there.
Two incredible shots that landed on the line off difficult
40.
situations.
But seriously, guys, are you surprised that Drew Broderick made that
No.
shot? No way.
No, from the high right
Do I
reel
look
before.
surprised?
Championship get right there.
Fantastic. Oh, this is just trouble for Hughes and Powers.
You don't win 3 national championships in a row.
We have
Without
that in the
some
highlight reel. We can watch that after the game.
Talk about a confidence booster.
Oh, what a dig. Arnold's getting that energy level up again.
Oh!
What a point.
That's a
Broderick,
great
Palmer, Powers, Hughes,
game there for Broderick and Palmer.
Excuse me, guys.
Now serving to stay in the match. So we've seen so far a break of serve every single time, Jerry, from Hughes and Powers. One more break and the match is theirs.
A lot of deep breathing right now.
Oh, that was a great game from Broderick and Palmer there.
It was spectacular. That get
Incredible.
where the guys are working on it. All right. Jared Palmer's serving.
Wow. That's a great blitz play, just amazing hands from Palmer.
He's got to get that lobber higher and keep it away from Drew.
That's a straight arm roller
Broderick.
from Joe Palmer right there. Do we see that?
Straight arm roller.
Yeah, just nuzzled it down the center.
That is
Oh,
trouble.
great get from there. Powers there.
Good John Hughes moved right over, waiting for that forehand drive.
Oh!
I was just about to say Hughes had the shot to go down the line because
Yeah.
Jared was in the middle of the court
Yep.
and he head faked him. Love 15.
Hughes and Powers
coming.
are 3 points away from the championship.
And they have
be a
to
drive.
play 1 point at a
That's-
time.
That's right. Don't try to win them all in 1 point or too fast.
That's a fantastic overhead from Drew Broderick.
He's mixing in the cuts and the hard side backs, third wire smashes. Great variety.
Great great spot, but what a volley from Broderick again.
He's so economical.
He is.
Wow.
Great spot.
Oh. What a move!
How's he making that?
Oh.
How's Broderick making that
He
volley?
stayed.
And look at
makes it a
that!
winner off the overhead.
That's incredible.
Broderick is taking it to Hughes and Powers right now.
He stood solid for that volley.
Here he goes again. Oh my gosh, right on the line.
Such a good wall at the net. I mean, these are great balls from Hughes and Powers. Great balls.
It's a volleying clinic from Broderick and Palmer right now at the net.
Oh, wow. I would say that's exactly the kind of point that Hughes and Powers wants to play,
15.
though. I mean, they just couldn't break down the defense of Broderick Palmer.
They
And
just
they didn't get
get,
any looks.
they just get punished by a low lob, though,
Yep.
from Broderick. You got to keep him out of the service box. He's got too many shots.
Here it comes. Ooh.
40-15.
Good move by Mark Powers, just taking a moment.
Missed it.
Wow.
Didn't quite get his
40-30.
shoulders around enough on that one. Right underneath the bottom of the ball.
Oh, great return. Oh!
Wow.
Got him leaving his feet.
Deuce.
How about that?
So they set up that play that we've seen before, baiting him to drive. Mark Powers moves in, stuffs the volley back deep. Back to deuce. Hughes and Powers are 2 points away from the match.
Oh, great blitz.
Oh my
Tags him with the
goodness.
ball. Perfectly designed play.
Advantage Powers.
Match
Champions
point.
point.
Oh, great return.
This is the toughest point to win against Broderick and Palmer. The last point, they always seem to.
Nope.
Oh,
That's
there it How about that, Jerry?
Game, set, match. Hughes and Powers, 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. What a wonderful display of paddle. And this moment has been coming for Hughes and Powers. Last season we saw them, the last 4 tournaments, they made to the semi-finals. They've been in the finals of these 2 tournaments and this season, and now the breakthrough. We've got the new kids on the block that we used to talk to them are now the champions of the Duane Hayden Long Island Invitational. As you can tell, we're all quite animated and excited up here. I think Brad Easterbrook is going to work his way down and get an interview with these guys. Thank you, Brad, for your
my pleasure. We asked that
commentating.
question, as to whether Hughes and Powers can break through, and they sure did. Amazing stuff.
All right, and George, you've played against both of these teams multiple times. What do you think's running through their minds right now?
I mean, they're on cloud 9 right now to step up to the challenge. Not only beating the #1 team, but beating them in a final, which is where they always produce the goods. Is such a monumental challenge, and they rose up. They had a massive comeback, and in the semis against a team they've never beaten, and they followed it up with the championship right here against a team that is exquisitely difficult to beat, and that's not going to go away for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful moment for the platform tennis world when a new team breaks through, like we've watched these guys. And hats off, of course, to our 3-time national champions, Broderick and Palmer. They'll be disappointed, but I'm sure we're going to see them in the new year. I'm not sure what the schedule is. Do you know what tournaments they're playing?
I do not.
But still, I mean, it's a wonderful effort by Broderick, Palmer, who does not live on the East Coast, so he and Drew don't have any real time to put in practicing like some of the other teams, and he still manages to play at an unbelievably high level.
It looks like it's starting to rain out there, Jerry.
Looks like Brad is ready. He's got the champions here. We'll have a listen to their Thanks, George, for your commentary.
Thanks a lot, folks.
Going to have a wonderful weekend, and we'll hand it down to Brad.
I'm here at the Duane Hayden Long Island Invitational with our winners of the men's championship and Mark Powers. Guys, we asked this question before the tournament started as to whether Hughes and Powers is ready to break through, and you have. 2 amazing matches in the semifinals and the finals, knocking off the first and second teams in the country. So, guys, how does it feel?
It feels great. I think we've worked pretty hard together, and we've put in the time on the court, and I feel like it's been a little bit of a long time coming to win a tournament. So it feels pretty good, and to do it against top teams, playing really well. Yeah.
Mark?
Yeah, no, I mean, like John said, it's nice to finally have kind of a breakthrough tournament. We've had a few opportunities and in the past, but we felt like we really put it together today. We figured out a few things, and like John said, we've been working on a lot of stuff together. We're working with Jim Kaufman on a bunch of stuff. I've been, as you know, I've been working on some cut stuff with you on the weekends, and I feel like we were able to utilize a lot of the stuff we've been working on, kind of on and off court. So happy that it all came together for us.
Well, it was amazing, exciting paddle. But going back to the things that you've been working on, a lot of the stuff that we could see in the booth were definitely in that match a little bit. You were definitely playing a little tighter to the net, having John take a few more of the overheads, trying to stuff some of those transition balls and really sticking the volleys back at them. That certainly was one thing you were doing. We noticed more spin and more action. Your volleys were tremendous all weekend. So all these things that you're spending time on are making the big difference, because we all know at this level, right, it's just a point here and a point there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, as you might know, I mean, my overhead for a little while has been a little bit of somewhat of a liability, and a lot of pressure has been on Mark at all the overheads, and he's so good on top of the net. You know, the fact that I've been able to hit a little bit better overheads, it kind of frees him up to, you know, do a little bit more at the net, and he's so crap that well.
Great. Now, Mark, is there any time in the match, because basically you won the first, playing a great strategy, you have it all kind of, basically you would say, in control a little bit. You're up 3-2 in the second, you got a break, and did something slip there, or was there a moment where you lost track of something?
You know, I feel like they gained a little bit of momentum on the 3-1 service game. Jared had a really good service game. Hit 3 bomb serves, couldn't get a look in the return. And then the next game, you know, I think we were up 30-15 on John's serve, and then they hit a few good. You know, I think it was why I feel like we were able to come back in the third nicely is after losing the second, we didn't feel like they had really picked it up and we had kind of fallen apart. It was more just that they played some of the big points better than we did, and that we were happy with our strategy. We were just going to keep it going in the third and hope for the best.
Well, congratulations, guys. You know, I'm Brad Easterbrook here with our winners, John Hughes and Mark Powers. Thanks for an amazing tournament, guys. I know the fans out there loved it. All right. And that's a wrap, delivered by Uline. Thank you very much.
Thanks.